here's the question that we want to talk about today. What should you do when someone is better than you? But Saul has to wrestle with the fact that David's better. He's younger, he's less experienced, he doesn't understand politics the way that Saul does, he doesn't have the connections that Saul does. He's better. Well, one approach that we've seen is to plot their failure. This was Saul's approach. It did not work well for him. The second approach is this, to praise their success. You can either plot their failure or you can praise their success. This is Jonathan's approach. Let's take a look at how this goes for Jonathan. Look at chapter 19. Saul told his son Jonathan and all the attendants to kill David. But Jonathan had taken a great liking to David, and he warned him, hey, my father Saul is looking for a chance to kill you. Be on your guard tomorrow morning. Go into hiding and stay there. I will go out and stand with my father in the field where you are, and I'll speak to him about you, and I'll tell you what I find out. Jonathan then spoke well of David to Saul, his father, and said to him, let not the king do wrong to his servant David. He's not wronged you, and what he has done has benefited you greatly. He took his life into his hands when he killed the Philistine. The Lord won a great victory for all Israel, and you saw it, and you were glad. Why then would you do wrong to an innocent man like David by killing him for no reason? Once again, here's our three characters in the story today. We have King Saul, and then we have Jonathan. He's the obvious fit for the next king. And there are two people here that should be or could be threatened by David. There are two people here that could or should have a sense of loss or a threat to this young man, because here's a guy who's younger but better than both of them. I want you to notice what Jonathan focuses on as opposed to Saul. In chapter 8, verse 19, it says that from that day on, Saul kept a close eye on David. His eye, his gaze, his attention, his focus is on David, his competition. Jonathan, on the other hand, look at what he says in chapter 19, verse 5. He's talking to his father and says, look, the Lord won a great victory for Israel. You saw it. Shouldn't your attention, shouldn't your eyes, shouldn't your gaze be focused on the greater good and on the battles that have been won? Shouldn't your gaze be on that instead of on David as a comparison, as competition?